Hello, welcome into this mystery reading. My name is Molly. I'm the Quantum Leap Queen. Thanks for joining me on this reading. These readings are timeless. They are meant to give you nourishment whenever you find them in your life, on your journey. I'm going to set the intention, as always, to give this group the best messages that you need to hear today. And I'm starting with the tarot. I am using the Pulp Tarot for this reading. So I'm going to shuffle, put this group's energy into the deck, and then let's take a look at whatever we're meant to look at today. So, what are we talking about with this group in particular today? Well, okay, so we have the Six of Cups, and it ended up on the floor. What else? Queen of Pentacles, and the Two of Swords, the Nine of Wands. Okay, I feel like this group has been through a lot of character building moments in their life. Some of y'all could not have, maybe didn't have the best childhood. Yeah, and then I get the Tower, the Six of Cups. I don't know. It's a general reading, but for some reason there's energy here of someone not experiencing the best childhood and really having to unpack a lot of that as an adult and do a lot of work on themselves because of what you went through when you were younger. Sorry, one sec. It's something like that. That's what I'm getting off the bat, but it's not like, the empowered way of seeing this is like, I really think that we all chose the experiences that we have ahead of time. So, you chose to have that such contrast. And if this isn't your childhood, this is something in your life where you had a lot of contrast. Where you're coming from maybe like a sweet, genuine place, and you're just met with the opposite of that a little bit. But I just see like a lot of character building that you've done now throughout your life. I have the Two of Swords, I have the Nine of Wands, and then I had the Queen of Pentacles come out. And I very much feel like this would be a group that has really done some inner battles or really gotten to know like your desires, your inner self, your inner workings. The contrast brought you to the depth that not a lot of people end up at because they haven't experienced the same contrast, or they avoid it because it's work. It's serious work and really uncomfortable work sometimes to look at yourself and look at the habits or the egoic things that you do, or even just the mistakes or whatever you make, like we're all human at the end of the day. So I just feel like this is a group that has done a lot of like self-work based on the contrast that you've been in your life. So, and I think that served you greatly now, because I do think you're more in the Queen of Pentacles energy now. But let me get some more information about you, what's going on with you. Ooh, I had the Emperor. Nice. And the World. Ooh, okay. Okay, there is a message here about a divine counterpart. It usually doesn't come up, but for some reason it needs to be talked about in this reading. So I just get this energy of like, you know what you want and you're not willing to settle. And basically in anything in life, that's the Queen of Pentacles now. But I think you're really just like holding out or waiting for that divine counterpart to come in. And maybe they're already there, but I definitely feel like the two of you together are going to have an impact, and it could be worldwide because I have the World at the top of the deck. But for sure it will feel like, I'm just noticing these arrows, it's the yellow and blue arrow, and how they coincide or, cross each other. I feel like that's how aligned it's going to feel. It's going to be like so divinely guided and just navigated right to you. And the work that you two are doing, even if it's not like an actual like job or something that you guys are doing together, you guys being together is like setting a new standard for relationships. Even before you get into the work that you do together, it's like you two being together is literally changing how people see relationships. It's that like profound or powerful because you have two people that have really done a lot of work on themselves. You know, this the emperor isn't just like, it's not a knight or it's not a court card, it's the emperor. And I just feel like this is someone that's very solid that you're coming into contact with if you haven't already. And I feel like because of the power duo that you guys would create, you'd be able to do a lot. I kind of feel like you would feel like the world's at your fingertips a little bit when it comes to what you can do now with life, because truly I think it's going to be an upgrade for both you and this person to come into contact with each other. Obviously, I think one person will play more of the feminine, one person will play more of the masculine, and both of you, though, are going to be like harmonizing on this level that is creating this new world of like relationships where there's so much love and respect between people, and people aren't in that codependent space anymore. People are sovereign. People are whole and complete within themselves because they've done the work on themselves to let go of what doesn't need to be there, and they're choosing to hold themselves in ways that are different. It makes their lives different, it makes their relationships different. So I just see big impact. That's, if I could summarize that, big impact from this person, that relationship. What else? Do we need to know more about this relationship or this person's relationship with themselves? Tell me. I have the Hanged Man, I have Strength. Wow. There's been a lot of major arcanas come out for you, so I just take this as a really spiritually aware group. You know, true spirituality, which is like not easy. Not easy. It's not love and light all the time. It's like love, light, darkness, you know, and fear, you know, like really looking at all there is to look at, looking at everything on the table, not excluding everything. That's like spirituality, I think. So the Hanged Man and Strength. So I feel like this is talking more about the journey you have been on / are going on, and you've been given so much. I don't know why. I just feel like this. I don't know why I'm getting this image, but it's like, you know, like, I'm sorry. Oh gosh, one sec. Oliver Twist, you know that movie? And then they're like orphaned kids, and they're in the orphanage, and it might have been Oliver that says this, but he's like, "Please, sir, I want some more." And that's, I feel like, you with spiritual lessons. Like your soul is like, even though it's like, let's say you're an orphan in an orphanage and like life's already like really tough, you're like, "Please, sir, may I have some more?" And life will just keep giving you the lessons even when they're tough. Like, I just feel like you went to the all you can eat buffet when it comes to spiritual upgrading, and you're like, "Just give me the works. Give me the whole buffet." You know, that's gonna look it's gonna look different for everyone, but I just feel like this group does not shy away, even when you know what you're signing up for, even when it's difficult, even when it's like, I would never want to experience that again, but yet I'm so glad I went through that because it gave me this. It gave me these lessons. It gave me this up level within myself. That's what I feel like these cards are saying, is like, you've been through a lot that has helped you to change your mind and to get stronger within yourself, because you've been like, the rug has been pulled out from under you like so many times, I feel like, in your life, and you've had to like scrap and scrape your way to like get out of the grave. Like, I hope that's making sense. I'm using a lot of metaphors, but I'm like, that's what I see. That's what I see energetically, is this warrior mentality, and it's kind of like, give me more, even though it's like already so tough. it's just because like you're strong. Like you came in, I feel like strong, and that's why you're able to do the work and get ahead as a strong soul, because you know the outcome. You know what's coming after that, which is like just like anything. Like I need to work to get the upgrade. Because that's what we're here to do. We're here to experience the whole array of everything. So I just get that you're strong, and it's just making that memorable, or that recognition for yourself that says like you did not come to play. Well, you came to play on the deepest level, and you came to play. you know. I have the Ace of Swords. I have the Eight of Swords. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I wasn't asking a specific question when I was shuffling, so let me just ask what this is about. What is this signifying? I don't want to. Okay. Okay, so where you get a little maybe too ahead of yourself, or like where things start to go a little off, you could say, when you're on your path and in your direction, is if you become absolute on something. For some reason I'm getting like there's still a lot of mindset stuff this group is reviewing and letting go of, but you're gonna feel stuck, which is the energy of the Eight of Swords, when you're like dead set on a specific kind of mindset or conclusion that you've made in your mind. They're just saying like look at your mind and see where you're having some limitations when it comes to places that you feel stuck. And I'm literally hearing for you to ask for more expansion when it comes to your life and what's possible for you. One of the key parts of navigating life, becoming more in tune and in touch with life, is having the humility to ask. Because if you don't ask, nobody knows what you really need. So in some way, shape, or form, can even just be in your mind, because the swords are the mind, asking for clarity, asking for space, asking for life to show you where you're still feeling stuck mentally. Because for some reason I'm getting the Knight of Wands. If you stay stuck in certain ways, you're going to end up doing things that you don't prefer, and you're just going to be acting based on ego versus spirit, something like that. So you'll be acting more from your smaller self than your bigger self, seeing the bird's eye view. So there's something like that that's going to be important for some people watching this. I have the Eight of Wands. Yeah, there's nothing for you to prove, and the relationship that you have with self and with life is magic. And just to remember that it's magic. It's magic. And that you can be just receiving the answers. Like truly, our minds, our bodies, we're one big antenna. We're receiving the information. So that's where you can rely more on. With this advice is like rely more on listening and receiving the information than trying to like make conclusions in your mind about how things are, how things work, about certain things. I hope that makes sense, because it's a little bit more difficult with general readings because it's big energy. If I'm talking to one person, we're zoomed in. But that's an overall feeling, is to come back to your knowings about you. Not always in the mind, drop more down to your heart, to your gut, to receive information about what is right and correct for you. Okay, let me ask if there's any last messages from the tarot before we move on. I have the Ten of Wands and the Five of Wands. I feel like this is talking about a graduation process that you've been on recently, which is maybe in the past you would have fought more playing the games, the ego games that people like to play. But lately, with the Ten of Wands, it's kind of like you've taken all of your wisdom, knowledge, and you've just move on. You just moved on. You don't really care to play the same mind games like you used to in the past. But also with the Ten of Wands, there's a little bit of a shadow side here saying, like, I'm still waiting for someone to validate me, or I'm still waiting to be proved, to prove myself to someone, or for people to actually see me or see who I am. But you're gonna find, like, the more that you just live life living on your terms and not needing anyone, like, you won't need anyone to validate you because you've gotten to know you at your depths, and you're not looking for that outside validation. So there's something there that just wants to be highlighted or looked at a little bit, which is still that shadow side that could still be with you about the Ten of Wands. You've graduated from the mind games, but here it's like there's still maybe some room when it comes to graduating from needing to prove yourself or for others to see you in a certain light. All of that is, like, I feel like on its way out the door. So just giving you some confirmation for where you're at. That's what I feel. So that's good for the tarot. I think let's move on now to some oracle messages. I'm going to start with the angel number oracle. And let me ask, what is the best angel number for you? Ooh, nice. 6-6 with revisit. That's exactly what you're doing right now. I feel like you're revisiting a lot about yourself. Okay, I'm just looking at the advice here. So it says, lots of folks get a bit worried when they see this number, but it's actually a message of reflection. Your angels are asking you to take a step back, to hit the pause button with that greater distance. Examine your current circumstances. Are you heading in the direction that speaks your truth? Do your relationships lift you up? Does your job fulfill you? Or have you instead been putting your energy into things that simply don't work for you any longer? This is your sign to be honest with yourself and make the changes that speak to your higher self. The affirmation is, I'm aligned, divine, and my life is right on time. Oh, I'm sorry, that was 666, but it's the same, right? No, I'm just curious. Yeah. So it's basically the same message. So, and that was the one you're supposed to hear. Like, nothing is ever out of place, even like mistakes like that. No, nothing is ever out of place. Everything is divine. So, this is a time of review and really, like, truly, like, decluttering, like letting go of the things that no longer serve, and then making space for the new. And the new doesn't, need anyone to prove anything. It's like really like giving yourself full permission to just receive. I don't know how else to put that. We're just receiving. Like, it's like we're the guests here. We get to experience this life as a guest. So I'm going to move on next. Let's pull from I Create My Reality. See what message there is here for this group. What's the best message for this group from this deck? Okay, so the message is fear. Bringing up fear. Let's see. It says, I let go of fear. What is fear? False evidence appearing real. Fear only has as much power as you give it. Instead of feeding your fears with worry and negativity. Feed fears love, feed fears antidote, which is love. When you choose to live in love with everyone and everything, you have no choice but to completely let go of fear. Step into your power and dream big. And really, yeah, you guys do not need to stress and worry about anything, truly. You're really being guided. I know part of your message was just like how solid you are from the work that you've done. So yes, of course, there's always like more work to do, but you're really cultivating this new level of trust within yourself and within yourself, the bigger self, right? The universe. So I think as time moves on, you're gonna recognize like, man, I really don't live in anxiety like I used to, or I really don't like worry about anything like I used to. We're human, so we're gonna experience some of that, but it's not at the level that it used to be. You know, you're really choosing differently for yourself. I'm trying to get there. That's what I feel. I just feel like you're very powerful, and of course, there's still little tweaks being made right now, perhaps even so that you can get into alignment to bring in that divine counterpart we were talking about earlier. But I don't even think you have a fear of like not finding someone. Or if that has been a fear, it's kind of like an outdated fear, if that was even on your radar. So trust yourself. Trust yourself. Let's move on. I'm going to pull from the Medicine Woman Oracle. I love this deck. It's so beautiful. So let's see what is the best message for this group today. Oh, okay, that one really wanted to come out. Purification. That's exactly what you're doing and where you're at. So funny. Raise your vibrations by caring for your energy. I'll just see, because I can like see, like I feel like this is so much where you're at, because you're like in between this, you know, root building process, but then also letting more light in, more downloads. Like you're pulling from both below and above you, for this strong individual that you are. Give yourself credit for that. I don't know if you give yourself enough credit for being strong, resilient, asking for more, you know, because you know the up levelings that's possible when you do that. 36. Purification. Okay, I'm just going to read the guidance part. So it says, this card is an invitation to take care of your energy. Remember, we are like sponges. We soak up everything positive or negative. Check where you are at in terms of energy. Depending on who you were with, you may already have felt yourself being rejuvenated or exhausted. Places also have an impact on your energy. This is particularly so for sensitive people when they find themselves in a crowd, store, or subway. It is vital for you to learn to protect yourself and to rest and recuperate regularly to pulsate with energy. That is your true nature. Ooh. Yes. Well, that's exactly what you have been experiencing. And that's so important, and I think that's a really excellent point to bring up, is like, because you're up leveling, because the up leveling, like this process is making you a more sensitive individual and more attuned to different kinds of energy, let's say, or like, yeah, you need to upgrade, you need to have spiritual cleansing, spiritual hygiene as you navigate throughout life. If you don't already, that's definitely like really important. I know I've been upping my spiritual hygiene within the last year or two, and it really makes a difference. Like, it's just so second nature for me now. But I clear myself a lot or cleanse myself a lot with Palo Santo is usually what I've been using currently, but sage, and even you don't even need anything though too. It's often just the intention, like the intention of clearing, like before you go to bed. Like snaps are a purposeful thing too. You can say, I'm clearing my energy of everyone else's energy is moving away from me, and I'm bringing back my energy. I do that a lot, and it really helps. It really, really helps. So don't sleep on that. That I think is some really great advice for you as a group that is truly alchemizing their life right now and doing a lot of work. That would help you out a ton. So I like that came out for you. Okay, I'm going to pull from one final deck. This is the animal deck. I always have the decks listed and linked in the description, so if you ever want to look at a particular deck I'm using, FYI, it's down there. So let's take a look. What is the best message for this group? One final message to send this group off with. Ooh, inner truth. Inner truth. That's what this has all been about. Oh my gosh. Let's read about that. Number 7. Inner truth, the owl. The owl sees in the dark and knows what is not directly being shown. She is the master intuitive. In ancient Greek mythology, owls sat on the shoulder of Athena so that the goddess would know the whole truth at all times. If you receive this card in your reading, it is a message that you have a deeper knowing and you can trust in this gift. Whatever guidance you are currently seeking, this card is confirmation that the answer will not only come, but it will come from within. Owl says it is okay not always immediately know the right answer or what to do. Fear may arise and hide the truth of the situation from you. But fear, we got that card too. Fear may arise and hide the truth of the situation from you, but you are being asked to sit in the confidence of your inner knowing. Patience is of utmost importance. When you push and try to instruct your intuition to immediately figure out the answer, your intuition becomes strangled by your ego's control. All you need to know is that the guidance will come. When and how it comes is none of your concern. Life will help you connect with your intuition to reveal truth, figure out the best path, and do what is best for your growth and the growth of anyone else involved. Owl's Medicine shares that you do know the answer and that it will be revealed at the correct moment. Relax and go do something else. So yeah, beautiful reminder to trust yourself. And that I love that it's reminding you that this is a good reminder for everyone. You're not always going to get the answer right away, because most times, yes, I feel like with intuitive stuff, it's like you can feel that gut response, but sometimes it's like there needs to be more information known, or the energies are still settling, so you can't get a clear answer yet. And that's a good reminder to girl, guy, trust yourself. Seriously, trust yourself. Like, I can't express that more. Like, you are your own best teacher. Like, you know, like in yoga, if you go to a yoga class, They'll tell you, like, you are your own best teacher. You are your best yogi. You know your body best. It's the same with your intuition. It's the same the way that you run life. It's based on this utter knowing and confidence and trust within yourself. And you've done or slash are doing the root building process to make that connection even stronger. But ultimately, like, listen to you at the end of the day when it comes to that final decision. It's okay to listen to advice coming from the outside or opinions coming from the outside, but at the end of the day, make sure that you're listening to yourself. Nobody can capitalize on you. Nobody can get into, like, when you, like, the kingdom of heaven is within. Truly, 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 truly. It's within you. So trust yourself. Trust yourself, girl, guy, owl. I don't know. That's your message. I don't know why. These readings make me a little silly sometimes. It's just like, I'm just feeling silly. I need to go, like, prance in the woods or something. Thank you guys for joining me. Mystery readings are coming out 2 times a week right now, and they are timeless. They are meant to be here for you whenever you need some nourishment in your life. Come on back. Pick a reading based on your intuition, based on that inner knowing. You can't go wrong. So that's it. I'll see you guys on the next reading. Bye!